to make sure they are there.
Yeah. And what's amazing to me, I want to talk about EG a little bit longer as well, is I know we talk a lot about Jojo and Danny, the sort of wonder kids, I think, as I see them called.
And A-Talent, baby.
Yeah, and they're wonderful. And I don't want to betray that in any way. But also, look at the rest of the lineup. Right? Impact, multiple titles. Inspired, the reigning MVP of the third best league in the world, the LEC, and Vulcan, who I'm looking to my left. Oh, there's an LCS champion right there holding a thumbs up on a Cloud9 team. Like, EpicSkillshot. Like,
this team was built to win.
Stacked.
The team was built to win, right?
Yeah,
they are one of the teams that spent big. And, 100 Thieves, I think, has been, a team that was receiving a lot of criticism, but of course they're on a massive win streak now, so they are kind of like being absolved of some of that. EG is still in that boat where people are like, hey guys, time to step up, right? You are a team that is right around Golden Guardians in the standings. If Golden Guardians beats you, you're tied with Golden Guardians, and you're putting in a massive amount more as far as the investment is with these players. They bought some really big players. They wanted to have that success immediately. We'll see if they can get things going here, though. It's crunch time now. Kaisa Nautilus. It's the throwback. This used to be the every single game bot lane like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You have the engage, you have the follow-up, you dive in there, kill off the backline. Jinx as well as Viktor, really susceptible to that hard engage. Low mobility, don't have dashes or as much self-heal. Of course, there's the gravity field, there's the chompers, there is some. But, I could see EG going full-on dive, but the fact that the HEcarim is taken away, that is good for them. Be interesting to see if EG still wants to go aggressive, like go like J4, or go, Camille J4 or something like that.
Right.
To get really, really aggressive and fly into the backline and just try to delete these susceptible carries.
The only slightly awkward thing about Camille J4 is neither ult sets up Kaisa. You actually have to land the E on either champion.
Yeah.
Which, that's still fine.
I just literally popped
it.
out the first engagey things that came to mind.
I don't think they're bad options, to be clear, Azael. I'm just like, it's like really unfortunate is like the top of the list doesn't actually have hard synergy with Kaisa, and I just find it kind of interesting. Jarvan, though, still the ban. Like, I think you're still right that it was a good, going to be a good pick there. Obviously, attack speed, a great scaler for your Kaisa as well.
And CC in general, it just really does amp up your damage, right? This is something I know you've talked about a fair bit, but when you're playing Kaisa and everyone on your team has hard CC and the plasma stacks are just like flying up without you doing anything, it feels really, really good.
Hope Nobody wins.
It's looking like it's going to be Volibear here. So another champion that can apply hard CC. 3 for 3 so far. It's building around Danny, and I think that is a good call. This guy has been on a tear this split. People talk a lot about the development of Jojopyun, and I think Danny hasn't been getting enough credit for the development that is actually there. Yes, Vulcan deserves some of that credit too because they are successful as a lane duo, but his laning has been way better this year than it has last, and his team fighting has kept up just as much. Golden Guardians seeing, I think, that there is that potential of the dive, drafting a little bit more defensively. Braum is really good counter engage. If you try to dive in on the backline, the ulti comes up, the door goes up, you're blocking and keeping safe those hyper carries that you have drafted. If Licorice does go to the Gnar, it has been one of his favorites. It'll be interesting to see if they want to get really aggressive here on the top side with Impact, try to go towards one of those melee champions, but it's not really Impact style. Like, if it were to be something, he has been going towards the Tryndamere, but I wouldn't be shocked to just see a tank. Like, I could see him going towards something along those lines. But GP actually makes a lot of sense too. With GP coming back in, that was an Impact special for so many years, and it does help to set up the dive just in a different way. So I actually like this more.
Oh, it goes to the Graves instead. So yeah, it doesn't actually fit the rest of the
Don't actually like the Graves at all.
Dive style.
Yeah.
It is frontline damage, and if you say actually, because like you're not gonna out frontline Viktor Jinx, right? Like they're kind of gonna
Graves and Braum just sounds so bad to me. Like this is one of those champion interactions that it's like you actually do nothing. Like he blocks your ult, he blocks everything. I just think it's really difficult for Graves to actually get access to those backline targets that you want to get to. And as you say, they have a better front to back, right? Like you want to be having that backline damage. You can go over the top with the ulti from Graves, but we'll see if they can pull it off.
Well, EG, win and you are in. Golden Guardians got to break ahead of the good tops. We'll see if they can do it here against Evil Geniuses.
What's going on?
Jake from State Farm, the perp just confessed. I think. I don't know.
What?
Oh, can't afford streaming anymore, so here we are.
Oh, don't give up what you love. State Farm has options to personalize your policy so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Oh, that's great. The subtitles would be nice.
For surprisingly great rates to fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Welcome. Bot lane now as well. And then when the game does get more open, again, we have Realm Warp, we have Kaisa diving in, like, you know, that 15% of the really chaotic part of the game, we win those 90-10, right? And in Champ Select, you're playing odds. In Champ Select, again, I'm kind of with you. I kind of favor the Golden Guardians 5-on-5. Outside of Champ Select, it's like, well, we got here, and I'm like, well, you have win conditions, but they are narrower than Golden Guardians.
Yep. And it is fun to talk about. We'll see how it's actually going to play out, you know, in reality now as we are back into the game here. You know, and there's always pivots you can make, right? Like I think that largely could have had a lot of advantages, you know, in some of those same places that we were talking about, while still kind of having a more cohesive 5v5 with a change up on the Graves. But Impact may very well prove us wrong.
Sure.
But it's a lot of scaling. It's mixed damage profile on the Golden Guardian side. It's really good range with Jinx and Viktor, which I think makes it really difficult for mid-range champions like Ryze and Graves to fight past the Braum with, you know, Viktor lasers and Jinx rockets being thrown at you. So we'll see if they can get ahead, because if you can get ahead, all of a sudden, that's all out the window, because you can have Danny diving into the backline, deleting some of these carries, and excited to see if they can make it happen.
I don't believe AblazeOlive. Actually, no, I saw an extra ping. I believe he did ping and saw the trinket ward put down. He almost didn't spot it, but I believe he saw it. Obviously, he was trying to dance around the possibilities of a Nautilus hook. Impact going to trade heavily into Licorice here. He's not allowed to go back over the wall, but is equal to come back in time to jump that and then go back for the wave?
Yeah, I kind of like that. You know, just a little bit aggressive move, gets a bit of a trade in there.
Got Fleet, so we got more sustained.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. You know, you're playing Doran's Blade, you're playing Fleet, so you're going to be able to kind of sustain up here, and he's trying to just position those autos to hit both the Gnar as well as the minions. Impact just wants to shove. That's generally what Graves does. It's not that Graves like wins every 1v1. It's kind of more that Graves just pushes faster than you.
Yeah.
And Graves kind of just negates your ability to take 1v1s in a lot of matchups by saying, well, you have to fight the minions, because that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to push in the minions. I'm going to harass you under tower. I'm going to try to, you know, get pressure through that and allow your jungler to really have his ability to kind of dictate what he wants to do on the map, because that top laner is locked, and that is kind of becoming that static position.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the ways in which Graves win. It's not that he gets the 1v1, right? It's not like you're, you know, doing these things like the top lane Riven does, or even a top lane Tryndamere, where it's like, oh, I'm likely to kill you, and I have pressure because of the kill threat. Graves, like, doesn't actually get first blood in his matchups almost ever. He doesn't have that kind of threat, but we got to fight in the bottom side first, though. Shield goes up, and it is incredibly hard to actually push through a Braum with the shield on. There's the Guardian finally popping. Inspired wanted to find a little bit of invade, spots that Pridestalker's on it, but Golden Guardian's is here.
And he does take away the Raptors. So he's actually able to steal away the Raptors. That is his favorite camp for sure. We'll see if he wants to kind of rinse and repeat. I'm not sure exactly how much he got. Okay, so he got everything except the one little chicken there. And he is going to go over, and he'll be up basically a full camp. So nice little bit of aggression. Both of them did 3 camps, and then he meets at the Raptors. Pridestalker saw him going in, but he knows he can't actually fight that. So he just avoids it, accepts it, and goes and takes his red, which I think is actually a really smart play. Too often people just are unwilling to give up one camp, and they end up fighting for it and losing even more, maybe their life, maybe their flash, and then, well, now all of a sudden Volley gets to stay and take your red too. So just giving up the minimum is something that I've been really impressed with Pridestalker. Even back to, we're not really seeing it anymore, but you think back to the Smite top games, there was a number of games. There was one in particular that really impressed me where he was playing Zed, and the enemy jungle plus top laner were just roaming around everywhere in his jungle, and he was just cross-mapping them every single time. He's like, yeah, you're taking my blue quadrant, I'm taking your blue quadrant. And he was able to stay even in farm in a lot of games that it felt like he had no business being even in farm.
Yeah, impressive stuff. I mean, he was also the guy, I believe, who like Spidey sensed the invade last week and was like, I'm getting around all this. Well, we've got to fight now. Good damage on a Vulcan who anchors right back out. Typical gameplay of pop the sweeper, go through the brush. The new gameplay is you play at the very back of the brush. By the time they can find you with sweeper, they're out of their own. You can take the fight. So it's kind of fun to see that little mind game evolve as we kind of have all the sweeper phase checks going through. So a solid scrap right here. Equal CS between Jinx and Kaisa. Jinx should be winning the lane as overall a stronger laner. Braum should be able to nullify Nautilus' engages, so Golden Guardians should come out ahead.
Yep, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do that. Jinx is one of those carries that is just so strong because you have push. It's kind of similar to what we're talking about, you know, with Graves, is that it's like, you know, Jinx doesn't really want to fight up against a lot of these champions in the early game, but she shoves you in, she controls the wave.
Right. She's a great.
Exactly, yep. We are seeing Inspired here on the invade. Spots out Pridestalker. He's going to have to retreat back to the tower, but that was a key vision plant there. If he doesn't see that and walks back towards his wolves, very likely could have gone down.
Yeah, but it still is top Scuttle. This is, I believe, the respawns of Scuttle, so thanks for the gold and XP. We once again see Inspired ahead. Nice try. I don't believe AblazeOlive got it. Nope. Went for the laser play. There was a trinket that spotted it. Almost got it. Not going to happen there, though. Camps remain fairly equal between the teams. No substantial gold leads here. Everything actually really just chilling.
Yeah, the gold is actually not updating, I just realized. So we'll have to see if that can get fixed up. But the gold is still at 2.5k a team, which is obviously this starting resources there. I'm looking in-game on the Spectator client. It is a 200 gold lead right now for Golden Guardians, so they are actually slightly ahead in that.
All right, let me move forward and we see bot lane being pushed in. One of the absolute best things about Relic Shield supports is very often people want to recall on cannon waves because it takes long to get through a cannon wave and you don't get to shove into the turret. Relic Shield gets to kind of bypass that by a couple hundred health. Still though, it did take a while, and as your own cannon tanks up turret shots, you don't lose anything on the recall. This is like very good by the book sort of wave management. Serrated Dirk plus Longsword is a great early power spike. You very often see just Serrated Dirk into Manamune. That gives you Q evolve.
Yeah.
And that's your first power spike on Kaisa, so on his way there already for Danny.
Yep, delaying the tier, so the tier stack will obviously be coming in a little bit later as a result of that, but kind of going for more early game power, as you said, and we'll see if he can make anything from that, try to get more of an advantage in the lane. Inspired, stacking up the dragons, this is to be expected. There's no way that Pridestalker can really contest for that, especially in this particular matchup. Vulcan gonna have to play this a little bit safe.
Damage from the cross, phase rush already burned into the wall, goes Vulcan, and a flash get over it. And nicely done to get away at the very least, but it is Golden Guardians who find the first little minor aggressive play, trading Ghost for Flash.
Yeah, a good little bit of punish there, and Jojo now going to take the bad end of this trade, just kind of being pushed back. This AblazeOlive just using that to shove in, and Impact again, just kind of getting behind the tower here, trying to harass Licorice, who isn't quite low enough to actually threaten any sort of a dive yet, unless extra members do come up, and Nautilus is coming. He's just trying to proxy the wave and hold it there, potentially.
Yeah, how much danger is there really? Because, yeah, reinforcements are on the way. Jinx left alone on the bottom side. AblazeOlive just getting rid of waves. So here comes a potential dive. First blood on the docket soon for EG. Pridestalker aggroes the Gromp over. Gets to pull it. It does actually leash regardless. Doesn't yet know. There's Impact. There's a flash forward. No easy way out. He's not 6. Smites for health, and he's got to run for his life. But right into a waiting anchor means he can maybe trade back with Impact. One hit away from dead. Can't get the kill. Graves walks out. 400 gold richer.
Nice invade there from EG. We talked about this in champs, like this is what they would have to do. Try to use that Graves prio, invade on that side of the map. You have the push. Impact is harassing him in that tri-brush, threatening even this kind of little proxy play. They move 4 men top. They do kill off Pridestalker. They take away another camp as well. And there's that updated gold. You can see EG now in the advantage just ever so slightly. Golden Guardians doing a good job to hold on. We can watch this one more time. Impact, Jojo, Vulcan, Inspired, everyone up here. Flashing over, Rune Prison comes through. Does end up taking them a long time to actually finish him off, as Inspired, I think, thought it was just kind of a guaranteed kill. So he was just staying on that blue buff. Got a little bit dicey there for Impact, but is able to dash out of the way of that Q from Olleh.
Yeah, Licorice dodges the rest of the Q. You can see the lane pressure still very, very good for the Graves. Looks like it's a push towards an Eclipse. One thing that's actually a bit undersold about lethality builds is, yeah, they may not be the best items to buy into steel caps. We've got a face here as both junglers spot each other. Inspired going to be winning that fight, so Pridestalker is going to be out from his Krugs. Or his Raptors, I should say, but I might lose more of the camps as well as wards go down. This is red buff taken now as well. But the point about lethality builds is it's also the most efficient source of raw AD and ability haste, which means it's the best wave clear builds for AD champions. Like, if your goal is, well, I'm going to shove the wave and go for your turret and ignore you, you don't care if you have lethality or a Last Whisper or a Cyrilda's, you're killing minions in a tower.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, and gotta give credit. EG has been pretty relentless. It's been a lot of camps taken away, but also again, Pridestalker has been relatively efficient. He's only 2 camps down, despite all of the pressure, despite even losing Raptors on his first clear. He's lost a red buff, lost a Gromp, lost another red buff now. So there has been a lot of pressure, but he just accepts. All right, Volley's here. I can't be here. He goes somewhere else. He gets something done. He's going to be falling down on those camps, but he gets a Rift Herald for his time, and staying relevant in that jungle matchup, despite the losing matchup, despite all the pressure in the invades. Pridestalker is right there with Inspired.
Do pretty well, but overall, of course, gold lead with Evil Geniuses, first Dragon, bit of gold from the first blood there as well, and looks solid. 5 CS difference in the top lane, though a bit more to farm for Licorice, so not bad down there. kept himself from dying, but first blood is, of course, impact, so he's got plenty to do. With the Vamp Scepter, of course, will never get poked out. Licorice had gone for a more scrappy build, right? Had gone for Conqueror. Said, okay, if I'm going to do a long-term 1v1, we're going to fight back and forth. I'll stack up the AD and do more damage, and, well, no, that's, you know, not going to have much of those scraps, to be honest, right now, but
yeah, we'll see if it does, you know, turn into something a little bit later on, because I do kind of generally see like Grasp is more of an early game rune, and I think Conqueror is more effective in the side lane later on. So, you know, if it is going to be a heavy play towards side, and you think you can get through the lane anyway, if you're just like, well, it's Phreak Graves, I'm not really going to be fighting him, he's just going to push me in, I'll get more from Conqueror later, I can kind of respect that as a line of thought.
For sure. Oh, the wards go down. Nice little stun there for Licorice. Again, dodge the back half of Q. That is the most important part of playing against Graves. He'll always push you, but if you can dodge that damage, he can't push you out, just the waves in. And he's going to have to drop one of the caster minions here as Impact does take a decent fight. Once again, gets the hyper, takes the shots, walks away.
Just constantly pushing him in. And Impact is starting to take a lot of damage here. He's got to be a bit careful because if HEcarim was up here, he could be getting dove on this wave. Like, he actually traded so heavily, they don't have eyes on HEcarim. He actually has no wards on this side of the map at all. So now he's realizing, okay, yeah, that's too much. I've got to actually base here. He has no TP. So now Licorice is actually winning here on the pressure. He's going to take a play potentially. HEcarim's moving up. If Impact stays, he should die. Like, this should just be a kill and potentially a full tower.
Ult for the wave, but it's not going to get the whole thing down. So does HEcarim get there in time? Ghost pop, there's no way out. You're going to die. Here we go. There's the smite put in for good measure. Show up. Can you get the assist handed off? Maybe. Yes, he does. They're going to ulti actually a fairly short cooldown. Burns that to guarantee he's part of the kill. Cross map, though, for Evil Geniuses. Dragon number 2 on the plate.
Yeah, nicely done. They're going to be able to at least get something back on the other side, but it's a big play for Golden Guardians up on the top side, and credit to Licorice. Impact was going aggressive for all these trades. Licorice was consistently dodging the back half of that queue and winning out. You know, he had the early executioners to cut the healing. He had the tabbies for the move speed to be able to stay up on top of him, and he was constantly proccing the hyper, whittling him down. And I think they could potentially take the full tower because they had the Herald. So yeah, full tower down off of that.
Well done.
The Graves did result in some small little bits of pressure and some invades early on, but like, Gnar's ahead of you now.
Yeah, well done, right? Just really, really good job, all things considered. Bot lane will take some damage. Vulcan shares in the first plate. Then he'll try for another and has some time to do so. Has gone towards Noonquiver, so is going to be a more Kraken Slayer style build. Again, you're against triple frontline. So if you're saying, well, actually, we're not going to assassinate. I want to try to get through early as fast as possible. Kraken can do that.
And as a result, you know, it's not going to be the kind of like W poke Kaisa, you know, into that AP build. He doesn't even have a tier, so I have to imagine he's just not going Muramana at all at this point. It's just going to be full-on crit build, you know, PD, Kraken Slayer, etc., like that type of a build.
Yeah.
We'll see if he is going to go that. Of course, it would be Collector, excuse me, not actually PD, but
sure.
We'll see what he wants to do.
The weird thing is, like, if you're gonna do a Kraken Slayer build, just buy 2 longswords and go Phantom Dancer. Like that's just the better version of that build than Kraken Slayer Collector.
Yeah, because then you're not really looking to dive anyway, which is kind of why you go Collector almost, to try to burst the backline.
Right, you can like kind of hedge your bets. Again, I don't think I really like it where it's like, well, I have the Kraken Slayer solo DPS, but I can also like go for the Collector play. Yeah, I just don't buy it personally. Either way, building up components, has under the longsword picked up afterwards. That's gonna go into whatever's next. It's not a Collector build path, actually, because Collector doesn't have any more longswords in this rated Dirk, so who knows what that's turning into, but otherwise he's got the Kraken Slayer or Gale Force pieces with the pickaxe.
Got the garage sale.
Yeah, he's got a garage sale. You know, he's just adding, you know, a little bit more of the power spikes.
Yep, and we'll see where exactly he does end up wanting to go here. Mythic's starting to be completed for a lot of different players, so we have chem tanks on both the junglers. Leandry's here for AblazeOlive. So he is going to be hitting, you know, a lot of frontline likely. You know, you're not really a diver, so just poking away there. Licorice has pressure, though. He's actually going in, about to proc Mega.
I think it's going to be enough that, yeah, he won't get one shot on the way over. Sidesteps fast to flash the ulti. He thought he actually, maybe was a bit too low. Misjudged it. A misplay from Licorice, too aggressive. And now we look towards the mid lane. The tower will not save you. Easy stun, a turn off on the tower, and nothing else to do. AblazeOlive found the wrong play for safety. It has a stopwatch, crucial. The backups come through, and it will not be Pridestalker getting anything else done. But with a flash in for Braum, another stopwatch force. Licorice is here. Only mini Gnar, but will it be enough? Vulcan does have a flash as Jinx solo kills Kaisa on the bottom side. Golden Guardians win on that side.
Yeah, that was crazy around mid lane. Golden Guardians heavily commit to trying to punish that dive onto AblazeOlive, but they can't really get anything back. Mega Gnar expired from Licorice as he arrives. Olleh flashes in. His AD gets a solo kill on bottom lane, kind of bailing them out with what was a little rough set of plays. We can watch this one more time. as Danny goes back and actually completes the Gale Force, so not going to be Kraken. So we'll be more towards that dive, and let's watch this again. You know, miss. Yeah, I can't believe he actually went for that. After the miss on the W, goes in, takes the tower shots. Just well played there from Lost. You know, zoning him out and keeping the chompers between them. So if you ult forward, you do actually get locked out on your ult into those chompers. Yeah. So we can't actually use the ulti in that position, except maybe like max range on his side for the shield.
Sure.
But even then, he would take too many tower shots. So just well played by Lost.
Yeah, good to stay on the turret itself. Now we got to fight in the mid lane for the AblazeOlive. Flashless, ultiless, no really way out, and will drop it again. Nice aggression, punishing that flash that you just burned a minute ago. Flash away for impact, but now inspired. Now burns his as well. All those summoners were saved in the last fight. The stopwatches will about them the time, and that means they get to go 1 for 0 yet again in the mid lane.
Yeah, nicely done. They're going to be able to get that kill. Have been putting on a lot of pressure here in these last couple minutes around mid. Inspired trying to be proactive, but Golden Guardians staying even in the gold. And, you know, it is the 2 dragon advantage for EG. That's kind of like what they have going for them here. And we'll see if they can continue to stack this up, or if Golden Guardians will be able to put a stop towards that soul stacking.
We really love it. There's in the front side, though, and this time around, Jojopyun staying around too long. Lost gets the kill credit. Well done, Golden Guardians, to bounce back into this one, a 700 gold lead.
And that's Herald now as well. They're going to be able to grab this off the back of this. We'll see if they want to try to take this really quick and then get to Dragon, or if they're just kind of giving up Dragon. I don't love taking Herald post 14 minutes instead of stopping Soul Point. I think that is a bit of a mistake, so we'll see if they can actually get both done. But Licorice megaing out on the Herald means he's not going to have it for the Dragon. Yeah. They are pushing up mid, so they have mid lane prio, but I mean, Inspired is in the river already, and we'll see if they can actually fight this.
So they made this call. It took them a second to figure it out. Impact already because out of top lane is coming down. Licorice had initially walked up there. I think he thought, oh, I'll match Impact if he pushes. Oh, Impact's not pushing. Down to the bottom river we go. Golden Guardians at least push in the mid lane. Looks like they are at least playing the river. We know Dragon can't be started yet because there is that scuttle vision. Golden Guardians are here. They're holding a Herald. What's the fight going to look like?
And Licorice needs to get that Gnar bar charged up. You know, that's why he's here in mid lane trying to clear out this wave. Golden Guardians do have the inner track, and Jojo no flash.
Gets the root. There's the fear. Again, no flash means an easy target. They're going to try to delete him, and they'll get it. Well, Pridestalker gets out. They're going to go in for a little bit more there. Vulcan to the front line. So much damage. They'll kill him as well. Golden Guardians fighting for a playoff spot, and they're slaughtering the chief competition.
Yeah, EG just getting stomped at this point, trying to funnel in against Braum, Viktor, Jinx. Not gonna happen. Jojo face checks the brush there, no flash on him, and it's an easy kill. You're never gonna get through Viktor and Braum to get towards that backline, ever. So they lose the Dragon. They're gonna lose 2 towers, end all these kills. Golden Guardians are now in a massive lead. When you take into consideration the compositions, like, this game is massively in their favor.
Yeah, it is. A little bit of poke, doesn't gonna do anything right here. It is 1 Dragon to 2. Unfortunately, the EG Dragons are not overlaid, though based on the way it's going, they're not getting into Soul Point anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we can watch this one more time. So Jojo trying to face check this. You need to clear out those brushes first. Like, use the volley E, try to do it as a squad. He goes way too early. I think he was worried that they were maybe rushing the Dragon or something like that. But when you go forward, look at that. Gravity Field and Braum with the wall up. There's just no team fighting through that. AblazeOlive and Lost are 100% HP that entire fight. They catch up, they even take down Impact. And EG's chances in this game are dwindling and fast. They can try to go towards the split push, play 1-3-1, but it's going to be tough.
5v5 was never the play. That's why I'm surprised we saw Kraken, or Gale Force even, here for Danny, and not an AP poke build to find the individual picks, because that's kind of the only avenue that works really well. 10% more teamfight damage is still a teamfight that you lose based on comp. So I think a lot to look at here with EG. Based on what I'm seeing in this game right now, still have not fixed all the issues that have put them at this point where, again, this is an incredibly high-budget team facing an 8-9 record by Golden Guardians, who just scouted better.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough. You know, I think EG has some really good pieces, and individually, I think they've had players who have had really good moments. Like, all of them have had really good moments at times.
Yeah.
They just haven't been there as consistently. And I also think they haven't been working as well as a team. You know, as a cohesive unit. They're not always on the same page. I think that's another example of that. You know, where should you be? Who should be face checking these brushes? How should you approach a fight? You know, should you even be going to that Dragon if they have prio? Could you not just play sides and get towers? It's something that I think EG definitely needs to work on, but Golden Guardians looking strong in this one, and we'll see if they can continue forward, because they need to show they can close out these games. We know how good they are in the early game, And if they can clean up this late game, they can be a threat to anyone potentially in playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they can build a 10K gold lead against any team. It's about finishing that game against any team, and now we've got to play. EG wants in. They got a couple of slows. They got some vision. They find the anchor in. This could be the fight. Will it happen, though? Mini-Gnar TPing in, but the bar is almost full. Braum stays alive, blocks for the team, and everyone gets out. There's the rocket. 2 HP left on Inspired, and Gnar combines with Viktor for a kill. Nautilus is down. 1-0 Golden Guardians. They keep making it work in the mid game.
Yeah, EG is pushing. They know their time in this game is kind of running out. They're trying to force for these plays. They've got to be proactive because things do not get better for them as the game goes longer and longer. So they're trying to look for the plays, but the TP was there from Licorice. They are able to answer, and they just can't quite actually finish off these kills. And you know, Braum Viktor is just buying so much space for their carries. They're positioning well here. They go in with the hook, but it's onto HEcarim. There is the disengage. You see that the gravity field on the left, Braum is on the right with the wall up, has exhaust as well onto Jojo, blocking the maximum, then retreating back to his team. Pridestalker and Olleh, yeah, they got really, really low. But again, AblazeOlive and Lost are practically untouched in every one of these fights, and they are the key targets. Golden Guardians' frontline is just playing it out very, very well. They went for the late game setup, they went for the late game summoners, they went for the late game team comp, and they're approaching late game here. Second item is coming through for a lot of these guys.
Danny gets the turret at least, though. On the board, Evil Geniuses, 300 gold to the AD carry. Pretty meaningful here. He is on the way to Phantom Dancer. That serrated Dirk power spike indeed was there. So, yeah, still trying to go for team fight damage best he can. We'll see what that ends up looking like if Licorice walks forward. Has flash and ulti in a second, so could have been a real threat if Impact didn't back off. Gonna be fine overall, though. Next Dragon.
Oh, they're wrapping around on top.
3 on top side. This has got to look pretty good for them. AblazeOlive has to be careful. Gets jumped on. Stopwatch will buy 2 seconds.
Double
will
TP,
it be
though.
enough? Is the question. TP's across. Rocket's going to land. Here comes the first dunk across. AblazeOlive gets shut down by the Graves. And this could be the fight that sinks Golden Guardians' ship. Just one down. A slow for Inspired. And EG don't get any farther. So a good reaction in time. 1 for 0.
Yeah, really good double TP there from EG. Stops that play, because if they all die there, they lose Baron. So critical that they were able to respond to that. They get a kill onto AblazeOlive. But AblazeOlive, I think he just played his hand a little bit too fast. He was overplaying it there, went too early. As a result, his team didn't have time to actually get in and collapse. I mean, Licorice doesn't have his TP. That wasn't available. It was used on the previous play, so you got to buy a bit more time, play it more slowly, let them wrap around. There's no tier 1 tower for them to retreat to, so was concerned, I think, that EG would maybe recall or kind of get out of there, so wanted to stop that. As a result, though, it is just the 1 kill, and you gotta say, 1 kill for double TP, it's really not bad for Golden Guardians at all. You know, they now are gonna be able to have the run of the map. AblazeOlive can easily answer, you know, bot lane, push that out, and still group up with the team. EG has to play through sides, so missing the teleports for them is actually a pretty big deal.
The one thing is Olive is without his own flash. He had burned that in that play. Has replaced the stopwatch with a full zone use, so that cooldown's not missing by any means. And looks like, yep, bottom dragon going to be earned by the superior team fighting. The draft and the way the game is played out, Golden Guardians gonna have it uncontested. The dragon count will tie. Second Cloud Drake now in the list, and they can move on to the next thing. Top lane was shoved in. Again, the TP-less Rive, you mentioned the teleports being down, kind of prevents that contest from happening. Some gold is denied, a very little bit of tower damage is chipped away, but not a lot happens for Ryze shoving in that wave.
Yeah, not too much. I mean, they couldn't contest with the dragon, so you get what you can, right? You take something elsewhere. It is going to be one of these games where it just feels like, yeah, all Graves and Kaisa and this comp can really do is hit frontline, and they're kind of just not really set up to do it. You know, they decided to go for the Graves instead of kind of over-indexing on the dive and trying to be able to threaten these carries. So that's the situation they're in. You can see the Last Whisper picked up now for Impact, but it's a lot of armor being grabbed up here. The Randuin's is complete. Gabby's there. Frozen Heart plus the Chem Tank already done there for Pridestalker. Locket, I really like the build for Olleh, and the fact that he would exhaust and Lost Point Cleanse, to me, that is, again, more the late game setup. You get a lot of value in those, and they are going to start up this Baron. They saw Impact bot side, so they're going to try to threaten here. I don't know that you really want to 50-50 it, but maybe you want to turn.
Sprite has ult and flash, makes it tough to get away from, and they're just going to keep there going with the wards. 4K helped up from the Baron, bottling turtle died to minions, and pretty soon he can ult into this pit, so when's the fight going to start? 3K, they hold it now, but it's going to be a flip. They're going to burn it down. Gnar flashes and stuns, and that's going to set it up. Well done. Absolutely no way to stop that one. A good play.
Beautiful.
Licorice just crunches over the wall. Summoner's not needed. Just guarantees Inspired cannot get in. Well coordinated at the right time. Flash to safety, doesn't want to get caught up by Jojopyun. Realm Warp,
Ooh,
but he's got the hop, so nothing's gonna happen. But now they're separated. Is there a dive? Pridestalker could have maybe ulted Inspired, but could always ult to safety, so not gonna be a play there.
And they just need to spend their gold. Golden Guardians, you don't need to overplay it. Calm down. You just got so much gold in your pockets. There's 2K on your Jinx. You do not need to overforce here. You outscale, you got Baron, reset, play the map, and that's what you're really looking for. Even the overstay there from Licorice did make things a little bit dicey. And these are these situations that sometimes Golden Guardians get themselves in trouble with, where they get a little bit hyphy, they want to try to go for more, but there's no real need to. You just continue playing towards those win conditions. You see now Lost has the BF plus the pickaxe picked up. He has a stopwatch on top, so it is going to be very safe. No summoners were used by him. He is in a really, really great spot, and Golden Guardians are cruising in this one. Even with the potential Soul win condition as well, Cloud Soul is incredible on HEcarim.
It is. Gonna be a good look. Running around, extra AD. It's double duty. Feels pretty good on that one as they roam through the top side. I don't believe there's enough Golden Guardian members to be a big risk, but they're gonna dive in, gonna find that first fear, and actually take it back to stopwatch for Inspired. Has an ulti, might try to burn it, and not able to do so. This Chomper is guaranteed nothing happens. A slow on a Vulcan, that could be a kill now as well. Anchor's not gonna matter, and it's gonna be a 2-for-0. Can't quite find Danny, but certainly it is nothing doing for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, and Jojo's just got to run now. He has his flash, he has his TP, but you're just going to get chased down at this point. No ulti to get out of there. Just got to wrap him up. Licorice is running around. As phase rush expires, there's no getting out.
No, he's got some tank stats. He's got an impact nearby. Actually gets some damage with Pridestalker, but again, you're not going to kill a 1,500 health HEcarim at that point in time. So number 3 comes across. Golden Guardians remaining in control in the mid to late game. They are growing a gold lead instead of losing it in the right time, late in the season. Golden Guardians playing well in the end game.
Absolutely. Lost pushing in that top lane, takes down the tier 2. They chase down the kill around mid at the same time. Going to be about a 6,000 gold lead at this point, 130 until soul point for them. And again, they don't need to rush. All the pressure is on EG to make things happen. They are scaling. IE is now complete, so Jinx really is online at this point. And AblazeOlive, he's going to be closing in on his third item here too. Has about 1,200 gold in pocket, so working towards a Blighted Jewel, I would assume.
Here we go. Licorice on the way down. Where's it going to find a 2v1 up against Impact? Now Pridestalker can take some decent damage. Goes down to 1k, but
all 5.
It is actually a 5 versus 1. There is no cross map available. It doesn't matter that you sent 5 people. Only 2 got the assist, but a mid lane at equilibrium, a top lane that's actually on their side. Maybe you trade out mid tower. But Danny 2 gunshot to fight it with no one 2 screens away.
Yeah, it is scary though, knowing that HEcarim could be coming. They didn't commit ultis, so there is the TP potential as well from Licorice. I do think it is a little bit dicey to stay around and try to push for that tower, but maybe you need to take that risk at this point because they are falling further and further behind.
Yeah.
Either way though, GG will be able to grab the tier 2 here, push in bot, and potentially retreat back towards this next dragon if they can't take down this tower.
That's in some of the damage. Gravity Well comes down, keeps Jojopyun out of range for the most part. Even the ulti comes down to zone them, and that's going to probably guarantee it. They can take the turret shots. Olleh does so. Thank you. Get excited on to Lost. And yes, the split push keeps happening. 1-4. It's the general thing you're looking for. Is bottom inhibitor should fall as well. Lost good set up that one. Can run away pretty quickly. And a rocket form for max range. Out he goes. And we'll see when the next one's going to fall. Third dragon for Golden Guardians has now just spawned. They can claim that one no problem as well.
Yep, gonna be able to retreat back, clear out the jungle, take away all the resources that you can get. Lost is having a great game, is so rich in this one. Another dragon will go their way. It's 3 straight after EG got the early 2. It's not showing on the score screen, but it is there. They have a mountain, they have an ocean dragon to their name, but obviously very far away from Soul, have completely lost control of this game. 7,000 plus is the advantage for Golden Guardians. Void Staff comes through, Force of Nature comes through, so everyone hitting 3 items now on the Golden Guardian side. Well, it's a long way to go for most of these carries on EG to catch up.
Took forward. 80 seconds till the second Baron. That may be something that Golden Guardians grab and close the game with. Keep in mind, Licorice had a great time stopping Inspired last time. The whole coordination around that was great. It wasn't a flip. It was, 99-1. It would be a freak accident. A random Kaisa W would steal it. That would be it, because there was no way for Inspired in. They're going to now find their way towards the top side. Danny, good luck with this one. Would like to find a way to ult well, but it's not going to happen. Going to juke backwards as far as possible. There's Gnar going to save the ulti. Pridestalker gets the kill credit. nothing doing. Gale Force burned means nothing. 90-second cooldown. That'll be down when he respawns. But a relatively short cooldown all the same. We now look at the play towards the top turret.
Yeah, but it's the push, right? You know, they already knocked down that bot lane hib. Impact did push it out, but they die on top side. They're going to go forward here. They're going to threaten the dive. They didn't commit anything to getting that kill on Danny besides the ghost from HEcarim. So it might just be the march forward here, try to look for the end, and I think they have the tools to do it.
We'd have been saying, looking at 8-9, tying Evil Geniuses in the scoreboard. They'd be a game ahead of Dignitas, and 1.5 ahead of CLG with, you know, 1 to play for them today. Golden Guardians looking to be one of those teams into playoffs. Tying both EG and FlyQuest in wins, and that's good company to keep in the top 5. At that point in time, Licorice going to hop away, and, well, they might reset yet again, but Baron is spawning shortly. A Realm Warp to spot just some movements.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go for a pick there. I'm not sure if a recall just finished right off of screen as that happened. It may have been the case as Lost and Olleh just reset. So maybe they had eyes on one of those recalls and tried to get up there to stop that. Not able to do so, unfortunately for them. Golden Guardians now establishing vision, and Vulcan, you are dead.
Oh, yeah. Team wasn't around, went for the wards. Too late, buddy. They're already inside your jungle. They're looking for a little bit more. Danny, though, gets away from Licorice's ulti, and Impact's going to be in for a bit more. AblazeOlive stuck in the pit 1v2. Signs of life for EG, but is it going to be enough? Impact cutting away. Ulti comes across. Danny's still there, but Danny's out of resources. Summoners are gone. But now hemmed in to a little ball. 4 versus 4. Divided a little bit are EG. Inspired dives in, finds the stun. Lost stays alive. Olleh blocks all the damage. A stopwatch burned, and Lost is still there. The team supports Lost, and Lost is gonna win it for him. A double kill for the Jinx. Golden Guardians have the power of teamwork. Going for a little bit more. A stopwatch, no, a resurrection coming through. Danny at 1 hit in the back line. Spotted out. Ults in, cannot find it. And Golden Guardians only lose 1 on their march to a couple of kills. Finally, Jinx will fall. Impact doing his best to carry this game. And now, where else can you go? Minions inside the base. They will knock down one of the turrets. Pridestalker here as well. Only 2 alive. A low health Impact. A low health Nexus as well. They're going for a broke Mega Gnar available. Licorice gets revenge for the laning phase. 4, 0, and 9. That is, it's going to be Vulcan hiding in the fountain. Burning down. Nexus falls. Golden Guardians find their 8th win.
Well done by Golden Guardians in Super Week, showing up big here against EG. They went for the late game. They drafted for a 5v5. EG went for a very early game plan. We talked about it extensively through the pause. Not able to create the kind of advantage that they needed, though. Licorice was standing a lot of the pressure on the top side. Pridestalker, I think, did an incredible job actually avoiding a lot of the pressure that EG was trying to put on with these invades. They're trying to attack the HEcarim constantly. He would just seed the camps, go cross map, get something done elsewhere to always stay relevant. And when EG didn't get way ahead, all of a sudden you're walking into team fights against Braum, HEcarim, Gnar, Jinx, Viktor, this comp that is just designed to shred what you have in a 5v5. And EG still looking out of sorts here. We are in the final week of the regular season, and EG, if you can believe it, might not even be making playoffs. They have still yet to secure that for themselves. They could have secured it with a win here, but I've got to say, I just hated the draft so much, man.
Yeah.
We talked about it early. It's just, it felt like it's such narrow win conditions. Like your way to win this game is absolutely blast through topside. It felt like get a massive advantage with the Gnar, put HEcarim absolutely in the dumpster. Really, they were, what, 2 camps up? Gnar ends up, getting a kill back on topside. Like,
yeah,
they didn't really get much from it, it felt like. They tried to invade, but I just think it's incredibly difficult when you're jungling against a really smart jungler like Pridestalker to really put him far enough down to justify this draft, because he has shown, even against Smite Top, where it's 2v1, he can stay even in farm by going cross map, and it felt like it was, again, that situation.
Yeah, really impressive stuff by Golden Guardians. It is nice to see them kind of keep it going, because I feel like you can erase a couple of the games where it's like, yo, that was a huge throw. Like, you were 95-5. Like, this was your game. And it's like, oh, this is actually like a 10-6 team. Like, that's almost where they are if they just finish closing out those games. Like, it's narrowly that quality of team. And it's like, hey, if you play games out like this, you're a 10-6 team, 11, 12, something around there, right? Like, you're a real threat in playoffs. And look, 4th seed is up for grabs, right? They can reach as far as that, play an upper bracket match, go face Cloud9 in game 1. Like, that could be exciting. Of course, a well-done win to them. EG, stuff to clean up. Now, with Golden Guardians that much closer to playoffs,